Hello.
I very much in that minute you want to see standing on the doorstep.
Sorry. Is that all for Alice?
It is.
Well, she can't complain of feeling cold, can she? You sure you can spare all this?
What, just this little lot? I could sleep. Coronation sleep is what I've got stored. Do you think I could put them down and get a bit heavy?
Sorry, love, yes. Come on in. Oh, thanks very much. I'm much obliged.
Oh, I'm blessed. It'll be news, believe me. Now, which bed do you want making up?
Oh, don't you bother. I'm not helpless, huh?
Oh, it's no bother.
Well, if she can't make a bed now, it's just too bad, isn't it?
I don't know. It's nice to come back to a made bed.
I never make it again, no matter who makes it. She thinks that nobody else can do it but herself, you know.
Suppose that's why you're polishing everything.
Ah, well, I thought I'd better get up to a good start. She's very particular, is our Alice.
Have you done anything about Lucille yet?
Oh, didn't I tell you? Got onto it straight away. She's coming home the day after tomorrow.
Oh, my goodness, that's quick work.
Oh, they couldn't keep her there, you know, not once she knew about it. And she's tickled to death about it.
I bet she is. You don't look exactly put out yourself.
No, I'm quite chuffed, I can tell you. Ah, well, it's no fun putting a kid in an orphanage. Oh, it's not a bad place, but kids that as homes should be in them, that's what I say. Let's sit down.
Oh, down. What's she going to do about her schooling?
Oh, they're going to take her away from that one she's been going to. Oh, they say she's quite bright and all.
Well, you don't have to sound so surprised about it. I could have told you that.
Well, I suppose it's with me not being very bright I hadn't noticed.
Ah, well, they say if you don't overestimate, you're only usually underestimate.
I got an interview with that new secondary modern school down the road. Have you seen it?
Oh, I've passed it, of course.
Smashing looking place.
I've heard it's very good.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's warm enough. The only thing I can remember about school, you know, is shivering in the corridors. Spent so much time trying to keep warm that we had no time for learning.
Any idea what she wants to be?
None at all. Sit out to you.
Oh, has she not? From what I can gather, she wants to try everything from a bus conductress to a model.
11 years old. So she is. I don't know, kids today.
Ah, well, they grow up much quicker than we used to. I suppose they've more to exercise their minds.
I suppose so.
I imagine it was Lucille made you change your mind.
What about our Alice, you mean?
I mean, you didn't seem too keen when she came while I was here the other day.
Oh, well, she's all right, you know. She's used to having her own way. Mind you, I didn't think the Coronation Street would have been her cup of tea, but I hope she doesn't start queening it round here because I'll be the one to cop it.
Oh, I shouldn't worry, Harry, if I were you. She seemed a reasonable sort of person to me.
I hope you're right.
Oh, I must go. I'm late already. Let me know if there's anything else I can do.
Right on. Thanks very much.
Oh, that's right. If there's anything else you want.
Yeah.
And don't worry.
Okay.
Ta-ra.
Cheerio.
Hey, Annie, have you seen these marks on this table?
I have.
You know who usually sits here, don't you?
I know.
I wonder what he thinks we put ashtrays here for.
Ornament, I should think.
They were telling me down at the brewery that these tables is very scarce. It seems everybody's after them.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, they can have them, and good riddance.
Oh, well, they're a good solid job.
Solid they may be. It's about time they let us have something a bit more modern.
Now, how long do you think they'd last in here? I'll touch these up with a bit of paint when I can get round to it.
I can imagine when that'll be. You have a visitor.
Hello, Annie. Hello, Jack.
Hello.
It's all right. I've not come for a drink.
Well, what did you want, lad?
Well, I was wondering if I could borrow a scouring stone, you know.
If you could borrow what?
A scouring stone for doing the steps.
What do you want to do steps for?
Well, I can do steps if I want, can't I?
Oh, you must be short of something to do, that's all I can say.
All right. Well, have you got one or haven't you?
We're going, all right, but we're not going to lend it to you. Now, listen to me, Harry Hewitt. I know very well what you want to borrow it for. You want to make a bit of a fuss, don't you? Well, if you've got any sense, you won't put yourself to the trouble.
Well, I'm only trying to make the place look decent.
The place is thoroughly decent as it is. It's number 7 Coronation Street, and all the scouring stones in the world won't turn it into Buckingham Palace. Now, she knows perfectly well what she's coming to, doesn't she? And if she doesn't like it, it's her own fault. She's only herself to blame. You want to put yourself to a lot of unnecessary trouble, you do, but I'm not going to help.
I suppose you're right.
Of course I'm right. Here, wait a minute.
I know what you're up to.
Oh, she'll have something up her sleeve, never fear. By the way, Harry, do you feel like a drink?
Oh, not this time. No, thanks, sir.
I don't suppose you'll be in tonight then, eh?
No, I'm picking up Lucille and bringing her home, you know. Oh, I might be in later on, though.
Oh, we'll expect you when we see you, eh?
I suppose so.
Now, you take these and put them in your sister's bedroom. Understand? In her bedroom. They'll do a lot more good than a lot of scouring stones.
Oh, thanks very much.
And don't go sticking them in any old jam jar either. Have you got some nice vases?
We've got one or two, yeah.
Right, well, put them in there and put them by the bed.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
What difference do you think them's going to make?
Well, if you have to ask. And may I ask where you think you're going?
I'm off down to brewery, I told you last night.
Oh, and leaving me to finish all this, I suppose.
Well, I'll be back in no time. However, leave it if you must.
Oh, yes, nice carry on there'd be if I did. And by the way, if you are going out, you can do something for me. Get me some of those cheese cocktail biscuits we had at our Jonah's wedding.
Nay, Annie, I shan't have all that time.
You'll have plenty of time, won't you, to spend half the day in the brewery sampling room?
Why can't our Billy go?
Our Billy happens to be out. And don't come back and say they haven't got them, because I know perfectly well they've got them at Snape's Cafe, right on your way. Now, don't forget, Snape's Cafe. Ready for a drink, then?
I'll have a cup of tea if you don't mind.
I'm waiting the water boiling. Won't be a minute if you don't mind waiting. Be the first cup I've poured this morning.
How's business then?
Well, you can't make a living on cups of tea, no matter what some folk think.
Well, I better have a couple of them cheese pound cakes then.
I wasn't trying to suggest anything.
I should hope not. And you a married woman and all.
Go on with you. There you are.
So,
2 cheese.
I'll wait for my tea if you don't mind. I'd choke my pipes if I tried to down them dry.
Cheeky monkey. Do you work on your own account?
No, I work for Shorrocks's. Didn't Doreen tell you?
Tell you the truth, I just told her we wanted a plumber and she rang up.
Ah, well, if you ever want us again, telephone number's 2778. You know, ask for Joe Meckinson.
I'll write it down.
Of course, I could always do it for you private like, you know, to be cheaper for you and all.
How do I get hold of you?
I'm very ticklish under the arms, but apart from that, I'm...
Go on with you, I'm serious. You a friend of Doreen's?
Well, sort of, you know what it's like.
I suppose that's how you know I'm a married woman then, is it?
Didn't need Doreen to tell me that.
How then?
Well, I don't know, you've just got a look of one, you know.
No, I don't know. Tell me.
Well, I don't know as how I can, you know, you just have. Then you road, you've got a wedding ring on your finger.
Go on with you.
Does your husband do for a living?
He's a commercial. Ladies and fancy goods.
Now, that's what I call a real job.
Well, he doesn't get much home life except at weekends.
What's wrong with that?
It's all right for you men, but what about your wives?
I haven't got a wife yet.
Oh, you're thinking of getting one, are you?
Might be.
Is that girl I've seen you there with?
Which one?
You know which one.
I suppose so. She's a bit young, don't you think?
Oh, I wouldn't mind being her age, if that's what you mean. What's wrong with being young, anyway?
Well, I've always preferred older women before, you know.
You sound a real Don Juan, you
I've
do.
been around, I'll tell you. I like brunettes best and all.
I suppose I might take that as a compliment.
Suppose you might.
There's your tea.
Thanks.
Wonder who that fella is outside. Looks though he can't make his mind up.
Well, that's Jack Walker. He's landlord at Rover's Return, you know, Coronation
Oh,
Street.
that's him, is it?
Yeah, I'll get on with this job.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. My wife asked me to come in. She wants some,
Yeah.
I'll be blowed if I haven't forgotten what she does want now.
It'll come back to you.
Oh.
It's Mr. Walker, isn't it?
Ah, that's right. How did you know?
Oh, there's not many round here don't know you, Mr. Walker.
No? Well, I suppose not. Nice little place you've got here.
Thanks.
That coffee smells good. I reckon I'd better have a cup whilst I'm thinking.
Now, that is a good idea.
Ah.
Tell me, Mr. Walker, how do you find business?
Oh, we have our ups and downs, you know. I expect you'll find it just the same,
I
eh?
don't mind that so much. It's the bookkeeping that worries me. My husband's no help to me at all. Says he has too much of his own. He's a commercial, you see. I'm scared stiff of getting into trouble with the income tax.
Nay, I never had any bother with figures right from school. You might almost say it's a sort of hobby with me, next to bowling.
Oh, you're another one, are you? My husband was very keen on bowling before he went on the road. He won a big championship a few years back.
Oh, did he? Sounds as if him and me might have quite a good bit in common, eh?
Hello, Mr. Walker.
Hello, where did you spring from?
Oh, I'm working here. I've finished, Mrs. Snape. Can I wash my hands?
I wash them in the kitchen, love.
Right.
He's a rum and that lad.
What, him? Too slow to be rum, if you ask me.
So you believe it. Should have heard what he's been saying to me.
Is that so? Well, you do surprise me.
Oh, it's you, Ena. Oh, come in. Oh, what can I do for you?
Has this street got together against me?
You what?
I said, have you been having another meeting lately? You seem to do naught else lately, but I thought you'd all got together and decided to send me to Coventry.
What are you talking about?
Oh, don't comment in that tone of voice. I've got eyes in my head.
Now, look, love, I'm expecting my sister any minute. In fact, if she doesn't come in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to be late for work.
Oh, well, I can take your mind off that. I hear she comes from Cheshire. Do you think she'll settle down to it? I don't. They never do, you know. You've got to be born and bred to it to settle down in Coronation Street. That's what killed my admin, if you ask me. When's your Lucille coming home?
Oh, day after tomorrow.
Oh, well, you have your hands full then. Get back to what I come for. Don't you try and kid yourself. You know what my trouble is. I'm being got at.
For what?
Looking after folks' interests. That demolishment business. How was I to know it was a rumour?
It was only a rumour after you started it,
Oh,
Ena.
so it was me that started it, wasn't
Well, it was you that saw the notice down
Oh,
at
and
the
what
town
are
hall.
those people that put it up in small print? It's them that should be on trial, not me.
Now, look,
Oh,
Ena,
you're just like all the rest of them, are you? It's here me, trying to do my best for the community, and a lot of thanks I get for it.
As far as I'm concerned, it's over and done with.
Well, then why have you been sent to Coventry? Nobody's speaking to me.
You're not going to try and tell me that worries you.
Me? Worried about that?
Well, what's all the carry on for, then?
The carry-on, as you call it, is because I'm just not going to stand for it, and you can put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Look, love, like I said, as far as I'm concerned, it's over and done with. So why carry on at me?
Why? Because you're the only one that'll look me in the face, that's why.
Oh, that'll be our Alice.
Oh, well, let's have a look at her then. Oh, you know, to worry, I'm not stopping. Just thought I'd like to be introduced to her as a matter of courtesy. So long as it's not putting anybody out.
All right. Oh, Alice.
Harry.
Come on through.
Yes, I'll manage this one, thank you.
Is this the lot, then?
I should think not, indeed. There's a couple of trunks on the way with the carriers.
Oh, well. Oh, this is Mrs. Sharples from the Glad Tidings Mission Hall.
Pleased to meet you.
How'd you do?
Just thought I'd like to make myself known to you.
Hi, Mrs. Sharples is the caretaker there.
Aye. Oh, well, if you'll take my advice, you'll keep yourself to yourself while you're here. You get no thanks for out you do. All right, don't worry, I can see myself out.
Sorry about that, love. Yeah. Just leave these down here until I come home, and then I'll have them upstairs for you.
You're not going out, are you?
I've got to go to work, love.
Well, you might have told me.
Well, I would have done if I'd known you were going to be this late. Just make yourself at home. I'm sorry to dash off, but I'm late as it is. Oh. If there's anything you want, Florrie Lindley at the corner shop will probably
All
have
right.
it. I'll see you later then.
How much later?
Oh, about 7. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
See you, darling.
Right.
Oh, it's hot. Of course it's off, you soft thing. It's meant to be hot. There's no hurry, you know. It doesn't start for another half hour.
You got the Royal, I've heard it's very good.
Oh, well, that's nice to know. As a matter of fact, we don't know what's on. We're just going on
Well, I
spec.
couldn't tell you what it is, but they do tell me it's very good.
She's nice, that Mrs. Snape. I like her. She's got something about her. Better than that woman that's come to live in our street.
Who's that?
Harry Hewitt's sister. You know, she's been there 2 days. She's not spoken a soul to her soul. And, you know, if you smile at her, she won't even smile back. It's amazing. Oh, no sugar. I feel sorry for her. It's a pity, you know.
Is that the one you were telling me about, that all the women run after, you know?
That's him, yeah. Although I don't think she'll stand for it very much. I wouldn't like to see anybody pushing their way in her house. You wait and see.
Do you think he'll stand for it, then?
Oh, Harry, I don't know. He's a nice enough chap, you know, but he has his limits. You're working at it, aren't you?
Don't know what's gone wrong with my hair since I've had it cut. It won't lie flat at all.
Well, we're only going in the back seats of the Royal, you know.
You never know who we might meet.
Are you kidding? Such as who?
Some of those friends you're always talking
Well,
about.
that's about as far as you'll get. Look at her, anyway. Respectable married woman.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, what's wrong with being a respectable married woman?
Well, if you'd ever been one, you'd know what I mean.
Thank you very much. Carry on. I'm learning something.
I didn't mean that.
Some people.
When are you getting married, then?
I'll have you know I've still got my marriage lines.
Well, a fat lot of use there.
Now, look, honest. Do you think even if after I got my divorce, do you think I'd get married again? I mean, there's no saying once bitten, twice shy. I'm not that daft, you know.
Well, they're not all as bad as that.
Look, if you went into a shop and you bought a mouldy bag of flour off a shelf, you wouldn't go back and get a bag off the same shelf. Now, you wouldn't, would you?
Well, I'd want to peep inside the bag first.
Ah, that's the trouble with men. You never know what's inside the packet until you're married to 'em, and then you can't take 'em back and exchange 'em, more's the pity. If some women knew what they were heading for.
Oh, hello, Tony. Oh, hello, Mrs. Lindsay. What can I get you?
I'll have a cup of tea and one of them chocolate biscuits.
Right, yeah. I'm going to the pictures.
Yes, I am, as a matter of fact. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I went last night. It's marvellous. Very sad, though. Still, I like a bit of a week, don't you, now and again? Makes a change, doesn't it?
I didn't know you were working for Mrs. Snape.
Well, I've only just started.
How's it suit, then?
Oh, it's all right. Thought I might need some interesting people. Everybody that's coming up to now, I know. Phil, you'd know yourself, wouldn't you, being in business?
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, that'll be nice.
Thank you very much.
Sugar's on the table.
Thank you.
Are you by yourself, love?
Oh, yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I'm going to the pictures.
Well, come and sit down with us.
Oh, thank you.
This is my friend, Dorothy Greenhouse. This is Mrs. Linley from the corner shop. How do you do? What do you think of Harry Hewitt's sister?
Well, she's not very sociable, is she?
Oh, that's what I thought. Still, we all know why he did it. It was to get little Lucille out of that orphanage, and I can't say I blame him, really, you know.
I don't think she'll last very long in this neighbourhood.
Come on, drink your coffee.
Are you going to the pictures?
Yes, first house at the Royal.
Oh, fancy that's where I'm going.
Well, why don't you come with us? They say there's safety in numbers, you know.
Oh, that'll
come
be
on,
nice.
drink your coffee.
Ah, well, it's a poor greening, that, you know, always has been. The trouble is, it wants a bit of money spending on it, and they're not prepared to do that. You know, there are some folks who think all they've got to do is sow a bit of seed, roll it, and there you are. And when the weeds begin to come up, they can't understand where they've gone wrong.
No, I suppose that's true in a way.
Oh.
And talking about things going wrong, I think Ena Sharples has gone a bit too far this time, you know.
Oh, how do you mean?
You know, that rumour she spread about.
Well, I never know one or two not talking to her, but it won't do her any harm, won't that?
It goes further than that, though, you know.
Does it? Oh.
Hey, hang on, it's just my turn to have a look at it.
Hey, Annie, come here, will you? Have you heard about Ena?
Well, I know she's not been very popular lately, but I've not heard anything in particular. Why?
Lenny seems to think she's in some kind of trouble.
That doesn't surprise me. What kind of trouble?
He didn't say. Hey, Len, come here. What did you say the trouble was?
Is she in?
No, she's not in yet.
Well, look, don't let on to anyone I've told you, will you? But from what I heard, she's going to be kicked out of that mission hall.
Who told you that?
A friend of mine on the council. You know, they were very upset over that business. And it got round to the committee, you know, that runs the hall. And they've come to the conclusion she's going to be sacked.
Well, it's like that, is it?
Well, they've got something on their hands, I can tell you.
Aye, you're telling
It's
me.
been tried before, you know.
Aye, tell them.
And she's still there.
Aye, but she won't be there much longer if you ask me, you know.
Like that, is it?
Well, I'll believe it when I see it.
Aye.
After all, she's only got herself to blame, getting folks worried like that.
It's a good job some of us had the good sense not to believe it, isn't it? If you ask me, those that did believe it are just as much to blame.
Is that her? No, it's somebody going in public.
Now, don't forget what I've told you. The moment she comes in this room, we all sit tight.
I don't mind.
It's not a question of minding, it's a question of how much we're going to put up with. Nobody said nothing to me. Friendship's all very well in its way, but I don't see why we should be made to suffer all account of what Ena said.
I suppose we might as well stick together.
Well, you might sound a bit more enthusiastic. I'm not taking it all on myself, you know. We've all been slighted on account of what Ena said, and we've all got to show we're not going to put up with it. I haven't been slighted, Martha. If I get one more peep out of you, Minnie Caldwell, I shall leave you to fend for yourself.
I'm not really in this, you know.
Nobody says you was. All we're asking is that you should back us up. Isn't that right, Minnie? I'd rather not have any unpleasantness, Martha. Look, if there's anyone's going to be unpleasant, it'll be me, not you, so you might as well stop worrying. And don't forget what I've told you. Sit tight.
Hey, where's my beard? Oh, cheers. Not doing so bad, isn't it?
No, I think we've got later.
Hey, Jack, I saw young Billy at pictures the other night with Doreen.
Oh, that's where it gets to, is it?
Aye, it is, then. She's a nice enough kid, isn't she? She never showed us something to say for herself, did she?
Well, that'll make two of them, then.
Aye. Hey, where's Harry tonight? He's usually in about this time on a Wednesday night.
Well, didn't you know?
He's not badly, is he?
No, not badly. A bit worried at him. He's got his sister come to live with him.
Oh, why? Well, I didn't. I bet you that she
I
was.
know, but it took him some time to make up his mind. It was young Lucille that finally decided him. He's been wanting to get her home for a bit, you know.
I knew that, of course. Where's she from, his sister?
Oh, no, somewhere out Cheshire way, he was telling me.
Why? She been in?
In here? Here, you won't catch her in here, lad. She's been working for Gentry. It's a surprise to me that she didn't take one look at Coronation Street and then up it.
Oh, she's got ideas, hasn't she?
Oh, and some very fancy ones too, by all accounts.
Yeah, she won't be very fond of Harry's whippets, then, will she?
Hey, do you know what? I hadn't thought of that.
She won't be fond of them, for sure.
Hey, he'll not part with them.
Hey, but if out goes, I'm afraid he'll have to be here, you know. You know, I'm right surprised at Harry, because I thought he was going to get wed any minute. She had plenty of choice, at least he had, as far as I can see.
Annie and me was thinking same, but it seems we were wrong.
It's one for the book, though, isn't it?
Ah, well. You know what they say? There's many a slip twixt cup and lip. We'll not bury him yet a while.
Is yours, Len?
Aye, when it's full again, love.
Right, sure.
I suppose that's that for time being, you know. I still miss old Harry, you know. He won't be coming in here much after this, will he?
Oh, there we are.
So, this is Lucille.
I'll say hello to Auntie Alice.
Oh,
Well, put your case down, take your coat off, love.
I'll look after my case.
I'll put it on there. Yeah. Aren't you going to give Auntie Alice a kiss?
I'm sure you're very glad to be home.
Of course I am. Wouldn't you be? This is my room.
Same one as usual, you silly sausage.
Well, it looks different in here.
I should hope it does. Your auntie's been working like a navvy.
Men aren't very good at that sort of thing, are they?
My dad used to tell me about you. You used to live in a big house, didn't you?
A fairly big one.
Why didn't you come and see us before?
Well, it was rather difficult. Anyway, I'm here now.
Well, what's it feel like to be home for good?
All right.
All right, is that all you can say? That's better. I'll go on upstairs and then come down, we'll have a bite to eat, huh?
Well, I'm not very hungry.
Send a couple of hamburgers down the depot. Spoil you down there, don't they?
Oh, I'm sure she can find room for a bit more.
Well, only a bit.
Hey, how are your stitches going on?
Oh, I wonder when you was going to ask me about them.
Ah, well, I'm asking you now. Come on, let's have a look.
You can't. They took them out. That's what it was, though.
What, that little scratch?
I like that. It was more than a scratch. You should have seen blood.
Take your word for it. Go on, upstairs, take your coat.
I won't be long.
Ah, she's a bit shy, but she'll settle down all right.
It's a pity you ever had to send her to that place. There's no telling who she might meet at a place like that.
Well, what else could I do? Anyway, it doesn't seem to have done her much harm. There's a lot of nice kids there, you know. It's a crying shame. I wouldn't do that, love.
Wouldn't do what?
Unpack a case. She likes to do it herself.
I can imagine. She doesn't want anybody to find these.
Hey, the little devil. I took him off her once. Well, put him out of sight, will you? We don't need trouble tonight.
Where's my picture?
What picture?
Spotty, my cat. It was there.
Oh, I threw it out. I'm afraid the men have taken the rubbish away now.
That wasn't rubbish. That was mine. My mummy gave it to me. And now I don't ever get it back. Ever!
Lucille?